All right, so TED Talks 2, today we're going to talk about finding your idea. Now, we had a short drill where we talked about looking for a TED Talk, what stood out, what was great, and what was not. And we heard things from, great title and presentation, terrible body language, terrible memorability, um, you know, really well conveyed and audience engaging from different examples that we got. But here we were recipients, and our goal here is to create TED Talk. So the first thing we need, because our goal is to come up with an idea to start. Now, if we think to what we learned last time we were all together, there were many ideas that some of us felt passionate about, but most of the rest didn't vote for them. And some of the reasons for that, what we talked about is that it wasn't bringing anything new or interesting or necessarily useful. It's just something that we believe to be important. And a life value that others agree with is not something they're necessarily going to vote for. So to find our ideas, we need to first of all be able to get our minds to free flow for ideas. Now, for some of us, it may be very easy to come with winner talk ideas. I did my master's with a friend who could take any topic and turn it into a thesis research question. Like she just had that ability. It's like, this is your question, this is your methodology, these different things. Amazing. I wish I would have got that out of the program, but she had a head for that. So, same for ideas. I want to talk about writer's block. To tell us about writer's block, Brian, please read us the quote.
Here. Writer's block, the inability to begin or continue writing for reasons other than a lack of basic skill or commitment.
Beautiful. All right. So writer's block means we have the skill, we have the commitment, we can't start going. Now, I feel for our audience here, again, this is an audience of educators. Everyone here is a experienced public speaker. Then the question here is not just to think of, a lesson or some kind of idea. It's much more that we're looking to think of an idea that will engage our peers. When we're teaching our students to give TED Talks, it needs to be something the others are going to want to listen to, not zone out when they hear a truism that vacation is fun or homework sucks, that kind of an idea. So for us, our goal here for the TED Talk, like the gold standard, is that our talk that we choose for this course, everyone else will be interested in. So writer's block, something we've all experienced in some form. I think if you haven't, amazing. Tell us how you do it. We would all, love to know that. Writer's block. How do we overcome writer's block, and how do we teach students to get over writer's block? So I just want to like a little popcorn here. If anyone has anything they've used to get over writer's block, this will be a good time to, share. Let's say we'll start with Anna. We'll take like 4 or 5. If you don't have any way, just pick the next person. Anna, pick the next person. You're on mute, so you'll have to.
Anne.
Anne. Anne, how do you get over writer's block?
I leave it, I leave what I'm doing and do something else totally, and then something happens.
Nice. That's a really good one to change your sort of surroundings.
Go outside, go someplace, get my mind off of it, do something, and it just happens. Like then it's like, oh, a little link comes into the chain, and then I say, okay, I'll remember that, and then I start again.
Beautiful. Anne, pick someone else. If anyone has ideas for how they got over writer's block, just one thing that worked, you can pick your hand up. Otherwise, Anne's going to choose.
Noga.
Noga. If you don't have an idea, just say I don't and pick the next person.
Actually, I don't really have an idea. I just stumble through it. I brainstorm with people around me.
Okay, excellent. Working with others, definitely a valid strategy. Noga, pick someone else.
Brian.
Brian, how do you get over writer's block?
Well, first of all, I'm not a writer. So I mean, when I write, I usually am assigned something to write, but and we teach a particular curriculum, so that's not really an issue personally. Although I have a friend who writes, and he says that psychedelic drugs really help him get over writer's block.
Okay, don't recommend those to your students. All right,
lots of students know.
Okay. All right, excellent. Brian, pick one more.
Well, one more way to get over writer's block?
No, pick someone else to pick an idea. If you have another idea, that also works. but you know.
Nothing comes to mind. Let's see here. I don't know. Well, I don't know anybody here. I don't know. Well, I
Just
don't.
pick a name. Pick a
Right, you
name.
told me we just talked last month.
What? Oh, okay. Well, who hasn't talked yet? I don't know anybody. Hi, Debbie. You look like a nice person. Are you a nice person?
All right. Is Debbie a nice person? We're gonna find out. Debbie, are you a nice?
Okay, thanks. Hi. Writer's block. Actually, I did a cool workshop, which was really interesting. Although it was for slam poetry, there was an exercise where we were given a prompt and we were told to write for about 2 minutes straight. And when you had to respond to the prompt, and when you had nothing to say, you're not supposed to pick up your pen from the paper. You just continue writing. I don't know what to write. I don't know what to write. I don't know what to write. I don't know what to write until a new idea jumps into your head. And it was interesting to do that exercise within 2 minutes. And I actually tried it with some ninth graders, and they really liked it.
That's
So
really cool.
there was a prompt you respond to. It's an exercise. It's a writing exercise. You respond to a prompt. And if you don't have content to respond to the prompt, then you continue writing. I don't know what to write. I don't know what to write until, with a timer. There's a timer on.
Wonderful. So but who made the prompts? Where'd the list come from?
Me. I
So
created a prompt.
okay, and how did you choose the prompts?
Let's see. There was one from the workshop I thought of. I thought of some of my own that might be relevant to ninth graders, like a prompt like, Dear Mom and Dad, I wish, or, Dear Parent, I wish.
Cool. So you basically sat, put out a bunch, put them out, and watched people respond.
Right. Well, I did one single prompt. I said, Dear Parent, I wish. Then I turned on the timer. I gave them the instructions in advance. So it was more of an exercise to get the thoughts flowing and for them to continue writing on the page without judging themselves.
Okay, excellent. So first of all, good on getting the prompts list together. I think it's a very important way to start the process, and also it's one of the answers that we have over here. Okay, so first of all, excellent. So we have a few ideas of things that we have used at certain points in time. And I want to share, by the way, like I prefer to have us talk about this first because some of the ideas that we have and use are ideas that have on this list. These are not the only ways to overcome writer's block and start brainstorming, but a few ways to start brainstorming. One is free write. Write anything for 5 minutes without stopping, using prompts, exactly what Debbie talked about. Yes, that's why we see our idea there. You can talk it out. I have seen people talk things out to incredible effect. Peter Drucker, who writes management books, talked about a type of manager who would sit and basically bring his deputies in and then talk for 3 hours. And then he'd figure out for himself and they would go. And that was his management style. I don't know if you've ever met people like this. I know one person like this. And that's really how it works. So talking it out to a friend, someone else, sometimes new ideas will come up, setting a timer to write for 10 minutes and then seeing what's going to help. Some other ideas is to read something. You can get inspired by other medium. Write badly on purpose. That's a funny one. I haven't tried it specifically, but like when I saw it, that one really like stood out. Move your body, go to another place, like we heard before. Starting in the middle sometimes helps. If you have an idea of something, but you're not sure how to start, just write and it can come up. And editing old work. Sometimes when you fix up something old, you can get ideas. I think all of these mean that to start brainstorming, if your students say, we don't know, you can pick something to do, just something to move. You can say, okay, like again, I don't know if you can get them all out of class to walk around the hallway, look at the art and pictures and come back. That's up to you. But when you reach this point teaching your kids how to produce TED Talks, it's important to build in some kind of brainstorming activity into it in the beginning, especially if you want them to provide something different from the obvious. For whoever's been to my Model UN course, I say that there's research of things that you're going to know about in, 5 minutes of research, 10 minutes of research, and, 20 plus minutes of research. Same thing. The idea you're going to have after 1 minute of thinking or immediately thinking. And by the way, we took a few minutes last time. So is very different from one you'll get when you actually work the muscles through one of these processes. So at this point, I want to pause. All right, so recording is paused. So I'd like to ask, 'cause I'm going to build the class differently based on this. Would we like to work on our brainstorming by ourselves in our own time and we finish earlier, or do we want to brainstorm together and take another hour? I'm totally open to this. Let's take a vote. Who would like to finish earlier? Raise your hands. I'm trusting. Okay, overwhelming majority. No problem. Okay, so I'm trusting him. I would say though, when the call ends, and I'll take attendance and let everybody go. I would say take 10 minutes to do this at least yourself, and then you can complete this going to next week's assignment. All right. So I'm just going to take attendance very quickly because when I'm done, I'm going to want to release because you're going to have the things fresh in your mind, and you're going to for those 10 minutes. We can all do about 10 minutes. Yes. Okay. All right. There's a trust thing here because again, over the weeks, I am building some kind of process, and okay. So let's just quickly see who's here today at lesson number 3, ideas. Okay, Brian, you here? Okay, I need people to yell out or yell out for each other because once I
Here,
said
hi, yes.
okay, Anna, Yandu.
Here.
Okay,
I'm here.
wonderful. Julia, I saw you. Dina Blueberg. All right. Dvora Zivan. Nope. All right. Noga Klinghofer.
Yes, here.
Wonderful. All right. Okay. Orit
Yes,
Kirsch. Wonderful. Judy Akar Zweibel. Okay. Aya Abu Nasra.
Yes.
Yes, wonderful. Bronya, I saw you were here. Aisha? Nope. Dalia Gabai? Of
Yep.
course. Evgenia?
Hi,
No.
it's me. It's
Yes,
me.
wonderful.
Mm,
Okay, Yanai London. Okay, Zohar Jacobson. Neria Sharon. You had some good ideas last week. Larissa.
Here.
Excellent. Natalia
Here.
Buhalak. Wonderful. Yael Grossman. Okay, Magdalena.
Yeah, I'm here.
Wonderful. Meital Binyamin.
yes.
Wonderful. Tamara Mirel.
Here.
Here. Okay. Ezra Taban. Okay. Debbie Wine. I saw you. Karina Eppefeld. Okay. Manar Hamoud.
Here.
Here. Wonderful. Adina Livni.
I am here.
Wonderful. Rawan Fares. Orly Fuchs.
Yes, I'm here.
Ophelia Jubran.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Naila Shefadea Daev. All right. Okay. Barbara Galitsky. Okay. Well, did I miss anyone?
And Levy,
And
My-
Levy.
on your list?
Okay. Anyone else besides
Yeah.
Anne
Yes,
Levy?
Neria, Sharon.
Neria, I think I said your name before.
Maybe I wasn't listening. Thank you.
That is possible. Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, Katerina Kiyashko.
Who?
Katerina Kiyashko.
Wonderful. Okay. Katerina, glad you got it sorted. I remember that there was. Okay. We got Katerina. Anyone else missing? All right. Let's go back to the world of TED Talks. Okay. So, all right, Mother, thank you all for your patience. Normally, I do either attendance right before or after the break, but today is a special day. All right.